What is good, people? Back with another video, and the Atlanta Falcons front office has a serious problem. They have a very, very serious problem. If you looked at that press conference yesterday, I talked about this on the podcast, where the optics of McKay and Arthur Blank sitting at that desk talking about what happened with Arthur Smith and everything else behind it, it was just a very bad look. Very bad. It makes it seem like Terry Fontenot has little to no say to what goes on. Just seems like he's the president of player personnel. He's not the GM. And Rich McKay is he's the actual head GM. What has that done? Basically, if you've seen what has been going on for the past 15, 20 years, that's where it got us. It got us. I mean, let's be honest. We talk about Coach Mike Smith and Dan Quinn. They elevated this team to high levels. I would never, diminish them. But they did not get us a knockout coach that would lead this franchise to one of the top franchises in the NFC at the very least. Not just the top franchise in the NFL, but one of the top franchises in the NFC. You got to understand, you got to create a culture of where you guys, the front office, you do front office things where the GM on down, they deal with the stuff of bringing the players in, bringing the personnel in, and creating that culture of the franchise. You guys in the front office, y'all just overseers. That's the way that I've seen it work at other franchises. No, I'm not in the know. I'm not in the office. I'm not at, I'm not at the building. I don't know. But I've seen it time and time again where the guys that are in McKay and Arthur Blank status, you barely hear from them or see them. But it just seems like from what they said, it seems like they have way too much pull in what's going on the field or in the realm of player personnel. I think that's where the coach and the GM, that's where they shine at. That's what it's supposed to be about. Those guys are supposed to handle that. So now you have a situation, just like they said at the press conference, Terry Fontenot is handling stuff at Flowery Branch with hirings and firings and allocation of that type of stuff. And these guys are talking about the stuff on the field. It is completely backwards. Now, I don't want to get into this, but I want y'all to understand the optics of how this looks for a minority GM looking like his role is being diminished by this front office. How does that look? That don't look good at all. With that being said, this franchise looks like it's going to be in turmoil for a very long time. You also have to understand, we were one play call. We were one play call or one missed block by a running back that we don't want to name here. We were one play call or one missed block away from winning the Super Bowl. That was despite what's going on in the front office. Now, I believe this. If you want to create a culture, you want to create a philosophy, you want to create an identity, owner Arthur Blank, I understand your position. You're the owner, respectfully. Rich McKay, I get it, respectfully. You guys need to step back like 10 feet and let these guys do their job. Because what coach is going to come in here and want to deal with this? Do you guys understand that this situation has been talked about throughout the entire sports world in some form or fashion? We have to understand that, yeah, people may be right or wrong about the situation, but when you look at the coaching landscape, they're going to be like, well, damn, if I'm going to be here as a coach, I don't have to really talk to Terry Fontenot, because at the end of the day, even if I talk to Terry Fontenot, we're going to have to talk to Rich McKay anyway. It's like, now I start to understand why when Terry Fontenot said, everything that they've done is a collective type of deal, because it's not like he really has say in what goes on the field up to his status. That's exactly what it looks like now. Now, what's going to have to happen going forward? They're going to have to fix this. I don't know. You got two guys that one's been the owner since what? 2000. Oh, Lord. I can't remember how long Arthur Blank has been the coach. Arthur Blank's been the owner, 2099 or something like that? And Rich McKay's been since 2002, 2003. Probably a little bit after that. You got two guys that are stuck in their ways. I'm probably spitting all over the place when I'm talking. It is what it is, whatever. You got two guys that are stuck in their ways. What is it going to take for these guys? What is it going to take for these guys to fix this? Because you know how it is when people are in power or people are just older and they're used to doing things a certain way. This is why this is a serious problem, and it doesn't look like it's going to be addressed anytime soon. Maybe the optics of it all make them change the ways of how things are going. I don't know. But from what I see here, I'm not going to sit here and say that this is going to be an indictment of us winning or being a winning franchise. I'm not going to say that. But I will say this. What's been going on for the past 10, 15, 20 years, now I understand why certain coaches haven't been picked, why certain personnel moves haven't been made, or certain, situations have fell through. I kind of understand it now, because when you have certain situations when everybody got their hand in the pot, sometimes that recipe don't come out like it's supposed to. Sometimes you may need one or two guys to get it done. And now I'm not saying like, hey, the coach and the GM, they talk about this and they go up to Rich McKay or something to actually get an approval. No, Rich McKay, look, it's good to have your advice. It's good to have some form of input, but you should have the input, not Terry Fontenot. Let those guys do their job, and then if something don't look right, you can advise. And then you got to let them do their job based on your advisory. It is what it is. Yay or nay, they take it into consideration. And if it don't work, then you can come down and reprimand and do your thing. Now I'm starting to wonder, did Coach Arthur Smith got fired did he get fired on a bad, was he let go because of a bad deal? Now I'm starting to wonder, like, okay, was he just a fall guy, scapegoat? Because don't get it twisted now. And I'm gonna get out of here after this. I understand Coach Arthur Smith, bad play calling. You missed on the quarterback and all this other stuff. You lost some games that were flat out embarrassing. I get it. But you know what? As much as I feel a certain way about Arthur Smith, I believe it was not him. I really believe it was the quarterback play that made the rest of this team say, F it, I'm done. They may not want to admit it. They may not want to they will probably never come out and say it. But at some point, even, unconsciously, just by going through the motions, knowing that this quarterback is known to throw interceptions, you may get a feeling like once he threw that interception in the third quarter, the team was like, forget it. We're sick of this quarterback. They probably never would say it out loud, but their body language probably said it all, and it probably wasn't even on the coach. You think I'm advocating for him to be around? No, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying, but I'm just looking at it in a fair assessment. Maybe he got a raw deal. Based on what I see now and thinking about it, maybe Coach Arthur Smith got a raw deal. I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm going to get out of here. I'll talk more about this on the podcast later on. I'll let you guys know if I'll put the podcast up in the morning, or I may just start doing the podcast in the morning starting on Monday. I'll let you guys know on that. But I'm going to get out of here. It's about time for me to check out, take take this route back and get ready to clock out for the day. And hopefully y'all guys have a good one. Hopefully y'all had a good day. It's been really rainy out here today. It's been really bad out here in these streets. All right, y'all. I'm out. Peace.